Under an hour, baby.
We did it.
Presented by Cedar Sinai. Shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's LaRue!
It's a dream return! Welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City preview pod. I'm your host, Mario Salazar, with my we're definitely awake and we're definitely energized. Now
I'm so sleepy.
We're old. Co-host Angela Morales.
Hi, everybody. Wow. Listen, yesterday was a real long day for me. I was up around 4.
In a different state.
I got in Oregon and got home after the game around 10:30 p.m. Then I had to go to work because my vacation was over. I did my best to hex Providence Park, though. Yeah. So
who knows? Maybe when we get up there, we still got that coming. Yeah, welcome everybody. As we start, it's that time of year again where we're just gonna keep telling you: did you check out your registration? Are you registered to vote? If not, go register to vote. It's your duty. And you know what? Just do it. It takes 2 seconds. Vote.org is the easiest thing to say. There's actually a California specific one, and it's like votercheck.ss.da.ca.gov. whatever. We'll post it as a link on Instagram.
Yeah, so you can just click it.
And honestly, I checked it today. It takes about 2 minutes. You're done. You're like, oh yeah, I'm all set. My thing's going to come in the mail, whatever. And then there is a...
Yeah, and if you're a new voter, if it's because you just got your citizenship or you just turned 18 or this is your first election or you just finally decided that now you needed to get involved civically, I'm so proud of you. Go ahead and do it. If you have questions, hit us up. Genuinely, voting should be a party. We really should get the day off as a national holiday. I don't understand why it's such a big deal. Not even logically. Power hungry wise, I understand why, but it is what it is. Your employer has to give you time off to vote. If somebody's giving you a hard time, they are legally obligated to give you enough time to either vote in the morning and get to work late or leave early and get to the polls before they close. And we'll talk about this more come election time. But if you are in line when the polls close, keep your ass there.
Yep.
You are there and you will vote.
It's like the rides at Disneyland. When you get in the line, when they close the line, they'll stand behind you till you get on the ride.
Yes. Yeah, or like the grocery store where you're the last person in line, they just close it around you.
Yeah, so think about it that way.
Disneyland, way more fun though.
The last time we were there, we ended up at the front of the park, and then the kids really wanted to go on Toy Story one more time, and it literally was like 5 minutes before close, and we ran all the way across, got in line. As soon as we crossed the marquee thing, the cast members were like, all right, we're done. We're like, yeah.
Good
and they were
job.
troopers. They lasted to the end. Okay, let's get to it. We're tired. Everything just happened yesterday.
Everything's so much.
Going to happen again on Friday. So this is our match preview for the home match against Washington Spirit, Friday, September 27th. Again, still within the same week. It's going to be at BMO Stadium, 7 p.m. match. It's going to be the Friday match on Amazon Prime, which is where I'm going to be watching it. And if you're going to be listening on the radio, it'll be on iHeartRadio with Isaac and Tracy and on 980 AM. There is a giveaway at this.
That's wild. Because 980 used to be like a news network my mom listened to, like where to get traffic updates when I was a kid. We'd be like driving around. Oh, what was it? I'll have to ask her because it was like one of those, you know, all the jingles, all the commercial breaks, all of that.
And then like traffic on the 5.
So I was like, Yes. Yeah. The 1 and 11, you got the weather, like that kind of thing. Man, what a different time. Anyway, listen to the game, y'all.
All right. And then this match, it's at home. You're going to be there. If you do, there's a giveaway. It's a collapsible water bottle. It looks like a Capri Sun or like one of those applesauce pouches that kids have. Basically, that's what it looks like.
Two things I am a fan of, because as we know, I don't, you guys don't know this, but I don't have my emotional support Capri Suns tonight because they were in the kitchen and I'm tired. But that and those applesauce pouches, they now make them with electrolytes, and they're just like a nice little punch of energy without really messing with your body, because you're replenishing electrolytes and also getting applesauce and other fruit concentrate. And they're also really good. All of the flavors are fantastic. Please sponsor us. Somebody.
Anybody.
Ideally Capri Sun. But I am not usually a fan of these water bottles. But if I can put Capri Sun in it, then I can buy the jugs. Less trash.
See, yeah, there you go. It's reusable. It's also collapsible because you can roll it up.
You put it in my pocket.
Exactly. When you're all done. That was the last thing I was going to say. Oh, yes. It's also Celebración de Culturas night. It is Latinx, Hispanic, Latino, whatever you want to identify as Heritage Month. We do, as the Cooligans joked, we as Latinos here, we get our own month, but we start it late and we leave late.
Yep. And we leave early. Yeah, we leave late.
Hispanic Heritage Month is from the 15th of September through the 15th of October. And so this is going to be the event at the park at the stadium. Usually
we were talking about Disneyland a lot.
Pre this too. Guys, I've used up my family like midweek tokens of going to a game, going to another thing tomorrow, and then wife's cashing in for a mom's night out.
This week is so busy for both of us.
This Friday's not going to work for me.
But yeah, this week is super busy for both of us. Eva and I are packing up her place to move down here. She's got a gig on Friday. We've got a game on Friday. Everything is a lot.
Yeah.
So if you saw me last night, I'm sorry. I was very tired. Zach especially. I was distraught, delusional, something. But yeah, Friday, just wave. Just hey. Just I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It'll be crazy because Eva doesn't play until 11. I could actually go to the game and we could just go, but that would be weird. And that means the game would be 300 minutes long and nobody wants that. Yeah. But in soccer news, our heart breaks a little bit for another official SCI. Leo O'Hara had announced her retirement this season, and I was so excited for her to play out this season, have a wonderful storybook ending to her career, all this good stuff. She's been hurt a lot this season. You are a national team player and play for a million years and play prolifically into the playoffs most seasons. Your body's got a bit more wear and tear. And her SCI was announced this last week as knee degeneration.
Oh, man.
I can't even pronounce things. So, yeah. And she posted a screenshot of a text message that was just like Alex Morgan and Kelly O'Hara retiring, all these things. And then it was a screenshot of her text message from Alex Morgan that just said, "Can I call you so we can cry together?" And I was like, yeah, so it was a tough one, but she's officially done. And I just want to cry about it. So that's it. I didn't even have an idea of a Chaos Award because it's like my life right now wins Chaos Award. So
that and the game just literally happened yesterday. We didn't have time to take a look at anything else.
Yeah. And I got stuff to say about the game last night.
Yeah,
I'll skip that.
We'll just say refs
on
again, and then we'll keep going.
Honestly, yeah. Joshua had me yelling a lot. But quick roundabout for the league. Congratulations to both Gotham and Kansas City for clinching the playoffs. And then Orlando scored a top 4 spot, which means they secured home field advantage.
So this year's playoffs is a straight up top 8. So it goes into a, four game playoff starting at the semifinals.
Yeah.
Starting at the quarterfinals and then going on from there. None of this top team gets a bye and then there's a little mini playoff.
It's just immediate.
And so that means seed hosts their matches up until the final, and then the final is going to be in Kansas City.
Yeah. So this weekend, we were actually the last game to close out the weekend, obviously, because it's a Monday. Kansas City played the Washington Spirit and won 3-0, which evens them out for the season because Washington creamed them a couple weeks ago. Orlando Pride, still undefeated, beating Bay FC 1-0. Racing and North Carolina played. Racing pulled it out 2-1. The Dash won and beat Seattle. The Red Stars won and beat San Diego. Gotham won and beat Utah 1-0. Lots of low-scoring games this weekend. And then we played last night.
So we played last night.
We did do that.
And it was like the same story all over again. A lot of hope at the very beginning. If you weren't in your seat by the time kickoff started, you most likely missed the first goal.
Honestly, it was wild. The final scoreline was 2-2. It felt like a lot more, just in general. It was just it was intense last night. Shout out to my friend Yolanda, who went to her first NWSL game last night because we had extra tickets all over the place between Mario, a few listeners, me, all kinds of stuff. We had extra tickets, and I was like, hey, we were talking about basketball and women's sports, and I'm like, if you're not doing anything tonight, I have extra tickets. And she was like, okay, so yeah, it was great. So
I was sitting with you.
For new fans. Oh yeah, my friend that was with us.
Yeah, thanks for the intro.
Oh, my bad. See, I wasn't even like wherewithal to. My words don't work.
I will say that I got a fun invitation from our supporters group where from Rebellion 99. I was able to represent.
We both got.
Yeah, I got the secondhand one because Angela couldn't make it essentially, but nonetheless, it was still awesome. I represented Rebellion 99 down for the 3-clap. It was complete chaos at the beginning of the match. Nobody knew what was going on, and they do this like day in, day out. But then I think that's just part of the course of live events. And also, Hello Kitty was leading the 3-clap, and Hello Kitty doesn't talk. So we were like, what the hell was going to go on? And they kept telling us, like, you guys have to do it. You guys know how. Funny enough, nobody really remembered how to do the 3-clap. We're like, what are you supposed to say? We figured it out. We got ready. We went out there. Yeah. Turns out we didn't have to say anything. Hello Kitty had an entourage that were the ones holding the mic. So we were just like, all of a sudden she starts talking and we're like, oh, we're doing it. And then.
I will say I have been trying to be very supportive of the 3-clap, of the new 3-clap, of this idea before the match, because I like the intent. I love the intent. But the thing that I don't think folks in charge of this are seeing is that nobody does it because there's too many steps. When it was just boom, it was always a little off, but that's what happens with 20-some thousand people. But now people are like, what? Like, because when you go AC and then you clap, it should be 2 claps. AC.
You're already wrong.
Like it just.
It's.
I know.
It's
I don't
AC
even know.
Clap, FC clap.
I know, but I'm saying in your head, it's 2 syllables, 2 syllables, 2 syllables, 2 syllables. So nobody ever knows what they're doing. I want to love it, and it's gotten worse. And honestly, people don't participate anymore. So we jumped the shark on that one. But back to the game. So as Mario said, nope.
We're tired. We got to wrap this up. Let's keep going.
Alyssa kicked it off with a hell of an icy goal at the 9th minute. Literally scored and was like, "Ooh, chilly in here." It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a nice sneak in, right? Hit the post and went right in. It was nice. And she had a really good dribble throughout the entire thing. So
yes, it was great. And then Morgan Weaver countered at the start of the second half. And then Olivia Moultrie scored in the 63rd minute, which probably should have actually been called back for a foul that occurred that caused Alyssa to be on the ground for close to 5 minutes, but whatever. No reason. And then Claire equalized finally in the 75th minute.
With herself and the ball.
Acrobatics. Yeah, she scored with the ball, with her feet, with her energy. Claire became the ball. It was the whole thing. I alluded to it, but at what point will a referee call a foul or blow the whistle when a player is down and like legitimately writhing on the ground.
After the first,
I don't, and not like a whiny baby men's soccer flailing. Like, I can't breathe. It's hurt so bad. I'm in the fetal position.
After the first couple of
On the
calls, I
ground.
know you looked at me because I did come up to you and then you were like, is this Trevor? And then I had to look
I was
it
like,
up.
is this Trevor?
And then it's, oh yeah, no. This
No,
guy
it was
is
Joshua. Yeah. Sorry to the cool people named Joshua, mainly my cousin. But this guy was not it.
No.
And again, it's not even, oh, we should have won because of this. It's no, players on both teams got wrecked and nothing. Sid got pancaked in the box, no call, which could have been a red card. It could have been dogs. Late in the game, how did Mackenzie Arnold not get carded? At the very least, a yellow for full-on clobbering Messiah Bright out of the sky. I don't understand. This is the thing. I know we've talked about the issues with pro refs and their union and education and experience and all the thing, but what the hell?
Yeah.
Because this game,
and honestly,
it's just sad.
It's one of those things where the ref excuse is the easy one to get to. And yet we feel like we're constantly hitting that excuse because we constantly feel slighted, bamboozled, like whatever. And I don't have the time to look at every single match. Like I can't sit there the whole time.
I can guarantee you it happens in every.
And I know it
Guarantee.
does. So it's just like, how frustrated are other fans out there about this from other teams?
Yeah.
And just and I do know I understand that at a certain point the argument is you can't leave it on the ref. You can't blame the ref for not scoring, right? But we did score.
I'm not even talking about that.
If we lost 3-0, then it's you can't fully blame the ref. But when you're up 2 in a game and then the shitty ref causes you to lose that game, when you're up 1 and 2 of these goals are questionable. Although Nina, our dear friend from the Angel City Chicks, did clarify the Weaver goal was onside at the point of the second ball, the second contact, that it was onside. And I will take her word.
And Claire's that was called off, not the goal, but when they called her off.
Towards the end,
she was totally on. She was totally on.
But yeah.
My thing is that if you're on this level, that means you've worked your way up through rec leagues, high school, college, like all these different things, semi-pro, all that good stuff. Do you not take pride in your work as a referee? Do you not take pride in the fact that you're going to call a good game? Because what the hell? And not to say, it's not even, for me at this point, it's not even, oh, my team didn't get the calls. It's my team got hurt. Alyssa was not okay last night towards the end of the game. When Messiah came in, she was gingerly running and pushing through it. You could see it in the 200 level, like across the pitch. That's the thing. It's like these women are already getting hurt. Sometimes because the pitch is trash. Sometimes it's just because. But take any option out. The fourth official, somebody in the radio, if there's a player down, tell your first official to call to like toot, because just stop the game. We're adding 50,000 minutes of stoppage already. What's 2 more? Give them a chance to breathe and make sure that they can run, or that they aren't concussed, or they can catch their breath because they got the wind knocked out of them and it's not safe. Something. There has to be some liability in that on the referees. And God forbid that. And I think part of the reason I want to say so much shit about this, because I know the players can't because they get fined out the ass. I know the teams can't because they get fined out the ass, because God forbid you talk shit about people who don't do their job well, or an organization that doesn't do their job well. But honestly, if I was Julie or Angela, or I am Angela, but not that Angela, if I was GM Angela or freaking Bob Iger or his wife, I'd be like, take the fine. It's $10 to rich people. Take the fine. Say some shit. Stand on it. Because players are in danger, and that defeats the whole purpose. Your job is to make sure it's safe. And yet, on that note, though, Maggie Doherty Howard played a hell of a game. And she had the sauce. She had something. She was spicy out there, and it was great. We played really well. We had a few slip-ups here and there, but we played really well.
Overall, I feel like someone listened to the podcast, but only partially.
Dude. Some people more than others, but yes.
Maybe they sent clips to each other or something. But it seemed like, at least to me, it seemed like in this match, they picked up the speed. They opened things up a bit more, not as much as I would like, but a bit more. They started playing out towards the wings. And then every now and then they revert back to these weird, like, why are you trying to thread a needle through traffic? And also, when you're doing that, for some reason, it's a half-ass kick. There's no mustard behind that, and then it gets taken away. Or, again, I'm going to keep saying it, and we all know Dee Dee's view of the field when it comes offensively. I stopped counting.
There were some scary passes.
I stopped counting at 6.
Yeah.
When the back line was spreading out, going, I have no one around me, pass it right here, and then she like boots it to a Portland player. And it's just...
I will say I was eating a little bit of crow because there was one moment towards the end of the game after Messiah had come in, and I was like, dang, it'd be really cool if somebody could kick it up and over everybody to get it to the offense. That doesn't happen at Angel City. That's just what it is, and I just have to deal with it. And Eva goes, what happens if she does it? And I was like, then good. Then, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me so embarrassingly wrong. See, and guess what happened that play?
But that one
up and over
one play.
Yeah. But it was
out of 90 minutes. Just booting it for the sake of getting the ball down.
But it was really good and we almost scored.
But what I'm saying, but like, it's literally like just hitting it and being like, oh, it's going to fall or it's going to fall. That's not a strategy. Mm-hmm. And then many of those passes felt so short. Portland was right on top of it. Okay, let's just move on. Beyond that, Trevor, Joshua, both of you suck. You are now on the list of
Brad too. Trevor, Josh, and Brad. Generic white boy name.
And sorry if you are a Trevor, Josh, or Brad. Kyle too. We added Kyle to the list because we have some bad Kyles in our lives.
Connor. I don't know. I'm just throwing names in at this point.
So sorry if that is your name. We do not mean you. We mean the highlighters on the field. So that is a thing.
Absolutely.
So again, as we always do, a little bit of footy therapy. We were running high and then came down and then came out with a meh. At least we got a point. Mm-hmm. So the prompt was, we almost had it. How you feeling? Do you want to talk about it? And we got dual haikus. One, Ethan, our resident haiku master, gave us a beautiful haiku, and Katie gave us an accidental haiku. As we've talked about this before, on the Discord, we've introduced the haiku bot, and the haiku bot actually looks for the haiku pattern on random things that people type. And so if it fits the haiku, it formats it into a haiku for you. Here we go. Ethan's haiku. Passing through too long. Starting line, low cohesion. Scottish karate.
And it's Lil, like LAL. Just low cohesion.
Scottish karate. Lion in there.
She flew, like feet tangled in the net, all kinds of stuff.
And then Katie's accidental haiku that I just love either way because we're all starting to feel it this way. I have a theory that involves referees and conspiracy.
Yep.
Which really comes down to like, why is this so bad? Honestly, it's either you're honestly that incompetent or there's something afoot. And logically, your brain goes, there isn't something afoot and they're just really that incompetent. Yeah. But then, as Katie put it, there's the little 10% where you're like, but what if?
But what if that was real? What if it just was a conspiracy? Yeah.
All right. And then Dustin came in. A point is better than nothing, but it felt pretty disjointed for the night. Alicia said, love the Spencer Emsley connection, although she did write it as the Spemsley. Love the Spemsley connection.
Yeah, that was great. The assist from Jazz to Claire was amazing.
Jordan came in with, I need some folks to be more aggressive. Attack the ball, apply pressure.
Yes.
Ruby, who I did the 3 clap with.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw hands with the next ref I see.
Ruby also texted me, just, bruh, why do the refs hate us? And I was like, I don't know, dude. And it's just like,
Zach came in with Thompson with that corner post banger. Emsley with full body crash into the net. I'll take the point. High five. And Myrna came in with, the passing was off tonight. So much time in our back line. It drives me crazy. Me and you. And then last but not least, Yessie came in with, we played really well in the first half. Great possession and control of the ball. And then in parentheses, CDMs. She continued in the DM.
Dun, dun, dun.
Continued. But almost every time we score first, my excitement wears off right away because we tend to lose the lead and continue to pass back instead of moving the ball forward. We need to bring more offensive energy, like Emsley's goal, consistently throughout the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick. Permutation corner. Checking out the standings. Currently, we are in 10th place. We're at 22 points. We were 6 points away from Portland. This tie leaves us at 6 points away from Portland. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to close that gap. It didn't hurt us really per se, but it also didn't help a whole lot. So 10th place, 22 points. Sadly enough, if we would have won, we still would have been in 10th place, but at least we only would have been 1 point away from 8th place. So really, we're not out, and we won't be out for a little bit, but we absolutely cannot be dropping points at all. We're at that point again where we're scrapping for a chance to like sneak in to the playoffs, and it sucks, but we're at a point where we're still controlling our own destiny. If the matches go the way we need them to go, we're in. Doesn't matter what.
Thing is that if we squeak in, we'll have a very difficult road.
Yes.
Because the matchup would be like the Spirit or Orlando. Or Kansas City. And it will most likely be Orlando. And I don't want it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be.
For my own sanity, like
it's definitely going to be us squeaking in eighth versus Orlando in first. All right, but either way, we're still in control. We don't need this whole mess of if this team loses, what that team loses, and this one. And no, if we get our points, we're in. And then the next one's coming up. Utah will be eliminated if they lose this next match. So they lose this next one, they're the first ones out completely, mathematically.
Yeah.
And then if the Courage loses it, no one, I believe from my calculations, permutation corner, no one is close enough to be the next person to qualify into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
there's a little bit of a...
But the things that we have right now, if the Courage lose, the Spirit automatically take top 4, one of the top 4 spots. If there's a Courage loss or a draw, the Spirit secures a top 4 if the Spirit draws with us. If we keep them to a draw, they still can.
Or they could lose.
Or they can lose. They can just straight up lose. That's fine.
We could just win.
But even if they lose, but if the Courage loses also, they still secure top 4. You know what?
That's inevitable. But what if they didn't?
And then with that Courage loss or draw, Gotham, if they win or draw, secure the top 4, or the Current wins and secures the top 4. So that's
big place. It's playoff placement right now this week.
Big whoop to teams that are not us. So let's move on.
Yeah. So speaking of the Spirit, that's who we play. So we got to talk about them. So the last time we played them, I talked about Trin and I talked about Croy Bethune. Fortunately for us, unfortunately for the league and for her, Croy is actually out with an SEI. She sustained a wonky knee injury at the stupid Nats game, throwing out the first pitch. I blame the Nats.
I don't mean to laugh. It's horrible but
yeah.
Getting injured when it's not what you're doing, right?
It sucks. You're like, I just went and I stood there and I threw a ball and then cool, and now I'm out for the rest of my season. But I will say, still Rookie of the Year in my book.
Yeah, I think
3 straight months of Rookie of the Month. If we don't give it to Croy, we are foolish. Foolish. She's so fantastic to watch, and I hope her recovery is going really well. Hope mentally she's doing okay, and that next season she just comes out and kicks ass. Not against us, but just in general. She's going to have a fantastic season. So there are a couple other players on the team to talk about. The first one is Ashley Hatch. She is a forward. She's been in the league for a few seasons. She was a 2017 Rookie of the Year. No big. When she was on North Carolina. And she was a 2021 Golden Boot. No big deal. She's been on and off the national team. I think in the weird transitional Vladko era, got lost in the sauce. Her, Ashley Sanchez, Alyssa. There's 4 or 5 players where you're just like, what?
It's yeah.
Yeah.
It's the embarrassment of riches, right?
Yeah. And we actually had a lot of people in her position as a forward, so that if you're going top 4, maybe top 5, that sucks because you have your starting 3 are amazing. Your secondary, your tertiary, every backup is amazing. So you're just okay. We can't run a team of forwards.
But like, why
the
not?
The cool thing is,
I was talking to Richie last night, and then I was like,
"Yeah,
did you watch Friends?"
Yeah. I don't know it like it, but I watched it when it was airing because I'm 100.
I did not. I watched it on reruns. But when Phoebe's the surrogate and her brother is there, and then they're trying, and he's, what if you just like cram like 100 in there? And she's right. I'm not a gumball machine. That plays in my head all the time whenever I'm just like, look, we're out of the playoffs at the moment. We need these points.
Yeah.
Just put in the forwards.
I don't think that's far-fetched. Like, it's the opposite of it's speed. It's the movie.
Make it
speed.
a 4-6. That's it. Just a 4. No, not 4-3-3. Just 4-6.
4-6. Yeah. It goes from parking the bus to Sandra Bullock and Keanu hauling down the 105 in that bus. Because it was filmed in El Segundo. And I can tell you where it was filmed.
Before the freeway was finished.
Yeah. Wild. Or like just after. Right around that time is when they filmed it. But Ashley Hatch has a very interesting history in the league. During the kneeling during the anthem, protesting during the anthem, all of that, she actually had big conversations with service members, with folks who have represented the country at different levels. She is I believe her family is military as well in some degrees, but she was donating to different funds to help those who were protesting and help those affected by police violence and all that kind of stuff. She didn't kneel, but it was out of the conversation she had with her family where it's, I don't necessarily need to do it here. I'm going to do this through my actions, which is amazing. She's very outspoken, quietly outspoken about it, where you're like, I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just doing it. But then when asked about it, she was like, oh yeah, this is what it is. And you're just like, what? She was also part of the Players Association negotiation team for this last CBA negotiation that happened this summer, which snaps all over the place. Yes, let's go. CBA forever. Yeah, but she's just a really interesting person. And it's one of those things where you can tell whether it was her upbringing, what she learned in school. I don't know what the influence came from or where it comes from, but she is very walk the walk. And don't make it you just do it because it's the right thing to do. You don't do it because it's popular. Yeah, thank you. That's exactly what I was trying to say. But yeah, she's a fantastic player on the pitch, dangerous as hell. So we got to lock her down, unfortunately. And then the other Spirit player I really want to talk about is Casey Krueger, because she is so dope. She played with Sarah Gordon in Chicago. They played there for a hot minute. 7 seasons in Chicago for Casey Krueger. She is also from Naperville, went to Naperville Central High School, which is known for sports. Home of the Candace Parker. Went to the same high school as Candace Parker. They didn't overlap because they like 5 years difference between the two of them. But for those of you who don't know, Candace Parker is one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time. I would even go as far to say best basketball player of all time, because I said so. But also she is absolutely fantastic and a wonderful human. But yeah, Naperville, big deal in Illinois. And then Casey she's been on and off the national team. She's been in the USA Soccer Federation for a long time, like since I think U13. Like she's been in it. But she was on the World Cup team, played for like a breath, and then played in the Olympics and brought home a gold medal. She was clutching on defense when legs were getting tired towards the end of that last game. But super cool. She has the most adorable child. Her son is stinking cute. And it's really neat to see what the Spirit and Michelle King have done to support moms on their team. Daycare and facilities and lactation rooms and all the services. Because for those of you who don't know, Michelle King is big into supporting women's sports as its own thing, not just as sports, but the girl version.
Yeah.
Women's sports as a whole, including the athletes, which means our bodies are different. We react to things differently. Our hormones are different. She's helping fund it has a name, but Dawn Scott, who was the head of performance for the national team for a while under Jill Ellis, has her own facility, and they're researching women's bodies and high-level elite performance. Like they're doing all these things to like better treat women through injury recovery and elite practices and all kinds of stuff. So I can't not champion that.
Yeah.
It's like my dream.
No, I mean, just Michelle Kang's on a different level. We've talked about her effortlessly floating with a cape.
She does not touch the peasant.
But also the amazing things. Like you said, she's very much a businesswoman that is looking at sports and women's sports as the sport. It's not basketball with the pink tax. It's not soccer with the pink tax. It's not take the toy, make it pink, and then make it more expensive. Like it's
exactly, and make it worse quality, more expensive. It's the opposite. The quality is better, and somehow it's still cheaper.
I think Michelle King is gonna make sure we get rugby gold next.
Well, I know,
or rugby medal.
She's another one who, anything at this point is amazing. But she is somebody who puts her money where her mouth is. Absolutely. I don't know much about her aside from the fact that I don't know if she's a venture capitalist or what, but she's got $1 gazillion. I'll take 10. If she wants to sponsor this podcast, cool. Honestly. Sponsor me. But that's the Spirit. They are doing fantastically this season. They are a very good team in general, historically. I think they've won a couple shields, but we just need to show up. Like that's the thing. We got to show up from the first minute, play the last, and not let ourselves get complacent in the middle, because I know that happens sometimes. Every team goes through that, but we don't have the luxury of being able to drop a game here or there at this point in the season.
No.
With that said, I decided that instead of talking about players tonight, I want to talk about what I hope we'll see, because Washington is going to force us to be on the top of our game. They have a very fast offense, so we just have to use it. I would love to see a shakeup in our starting lineup. I don't really know who or where. I have ideas, but
I'm trying to think back to what was the lineups during the Summer Cup, because things seemed like they were gelling a bit more there.
Yeah. And I think part of it, fresh legs for like Messiah, like that kind of thing. Have Sid come in as a super sub. Or like a game changer in the last 20 minutes instead of Messiah to see how that works out. Like push it.
Yeah.
Just start. I want an MA to Messiah goal so bad. The speed, it's the Roadrunner from Looney Tunes passing it to the Roadrunner from Looney Tunes. So bye. Boom. I would love to see CP play in this game because nobody knew where she was on Monday. Hanging out with Hello Kitty.
Did she even suit up? Was she?
Nope. Did.
Okay. I was just going to be stupid and be like, what if it was a Messiah to MA goal?
Oh, I don't. Everybody here knows how much I love MA. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, no, I don't want her to score. Like, I don't care. She could be part of that 6. Yes. She doesn't actually have to play defense. We got enough defenders. Throw MA in the middle. Throw her up front. I don't know. Just get weird. I'd love to see us stay more spread out. Our midfield has a tendency. What happened? Our midfield has a tendency to get crunchy in the mid, like just clump up. Stay spread out. Give yourself the space to succeed because we're so close. This game, there are a few transitions where, and MDH was actually involved in all of the ones I can remember off the top of my. She was just on and connecting and causing trouble for Portland, but also playmaking for us. And getting the ball where it needed to be. Madison Hammond stepped the F up towards the end of the game, bodied a few people, and I was like, yeah, that was fantastic to see. But we need to score fast and we need to score often. And I feel like half the team has a glimpse of the yips and the other has like, I want to go fast. Like Ricky Bobby pre-accident and Ricky Bobby post. I am not paralyzed.
We've got the dual.
I just messed up from like one of my favorites, like dual Ricky Bobbies. We've got the I want to go fast. If you're not first, you're like crazy speed. And then we have like Michael Clark Duncan yelling at you, like, you are not paralyzed. Like you can do the thing. And I just hope we see less trepidation in pushing the ball. Because if we keep pushing, we go faster. We move the ball better. We don't have time to get in our heads. Because I think that's such a big thing is that this team is so smart, but we get very intellectual about it. And sometimes you just need to be free flowing, whooshy on the pitch.
If the soccer IQ isn't fully there, balance it out by speed. The soccer IQ isn't there. It means because you're young, you got legs. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, go.
Go and open.
Yes.
It's what I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's like watching Maddie play right now in her soccer. They're at that age where like they're all just running in a group.
Move it.
But yes, we need to take advantage of the strengths that we have.
Yeah. Play to that. It's just that kind of thing where you can see certain players thinking too much. And not to say that you shouldn't think like obviously, like duh, you have to, but like when you're trying to figure out the best option in a millisecond, you have to go with your gut. You have to trust that. And you can see that's kind of faltering within certain players of themselves. And I hate to see that because it means like they're not fully comfortable or like they don't know or
it feels like when they get in a rhythm and they're doing the like 1-2 touch ball, like they're moving it and they're controlling it. Awesome. As soon as one player touches 3 times and they're like, oh shit.
Oh, yes. Like, oh no. Yeah.
So exactly. I think we just need to keep the rhythm, find the beat, keep the rhythm. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Let's get Eva out there on practice days and just giving them a beat, keep them going.
Like just have fun. Yeah. I want this team, like this team has this speed, like pickup games where everybody is just having a freaking blast and you're just pew, 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 and everybody's running around. There's joy in it. And I want us to find that again. That's what's starting to fade. But we'll see. We'll see what happens on Friday.
We'll see. We're history between the two teams. We have 2 wins, 0 draws, and 3 losses against the Spirit. Let's 3-3.
Let's make it 3 wins.
Yep. Let's make it 3-3. And that's where we're at. Reminder, next match is going to be this Friday, September 27th. Angel City versus the Washington Spirit at home, BMO Stadium. 7 p.m. kickoff, Friday night traffic. Good luck, everyone.
Take the metro.
Take the metro. It gets all right at the Rose Garden. You just walk 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you're good.
There'll be a gaggle of people with you.
And the game will be the Friday night Amazon Prime match, which we ended this week. We ended the last game of this week of games, and then we're the first one of the next week of games. And we're just like, holy crap.
Yep.
Who makes these schedules? I
No
don't
pressure.
know. But
blame the MLS for having 80 million games and taking up all the good times at BMO.
The thing is that they're not even playing here this weekend.
Oh, well, that means they're probably, the other stadiums are probably all jacked up.
All right. But yes, it'll be the Friday night match on Amazon Prime. And if you can't watch it, or if you want to sync it and watch it and hear it on the radio, check out Isaac and Tracy on iHeartRadio and 980 AM in Spanish on terrestrial radio. You know, yes, it is the Celebración.
Celebration of the cultures.
No, I'm just going to leave that in. I'm not even going to rewind on that one. Yes, it is Hispanic Heritage Culture Night. And there is a special giveaway of a collapsible water bottle that you can definitely fill with Capri Sun. There you go.
I don't know. It's like a hyperfixation food or something right now. It's just like Capri Suns. It's like the perfect amount. This all started, FYI, at the Roots concert that we were at. It's what triggered all of this. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening. This episode is wild. But if you like what you heard and you haven't already, hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening. You can check out casualfc.com for all of the different podcast streaming links and YouTube, because you can see our faces now.
See us yawn, see us
Ooh,
tired.
And next... see Angela cry, and you'll get to see a new backdrop for me next week, because we'll be moving into our new place and all set up, and so much happening. But follow us on social media at Casual FC Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and TikTok. For those of you who saw it both on my personal Instagram and the podcast one, I hope you enjoyed my improvements that were made to the picture with Becky Sauerbrunn, Sarah Gordon, and the Lauren Cheney Holiday. I didn't need referees in that picture. I don't think anybody did. You have 3 beautiful historic players. You put referees. Anyway, follow us on TikTok for TikTok for shenanigans, Instagram for shenanigans and footy therapy. DM us wherever. Just say hi. But the best way to support the pod is always engagement. Share things, like posts, review us. Just have fun. I got engaged this year. Engage with us. Let's just have a great time. I'm proud of that one. I have no brain cells left, and that was good.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you want to do more than that, feel free to grab some merch from our shop.casualfc.com website. And then if you feel so inclined, you can help support us by buying us a coffee, both in person, if you see me in the public, or Mario in the public. What is that?
Just
let's had coffee today. Yeah, sorry. I have nothing. So check out our link in all of our social bios, or to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod if you want to throw some cash our way. Whew, man, what a night. Tell your friend about the podcast, you guys. We bottle up all of the things and the good things and the good vibes and send them over to the team to help them through this next week, which everybody needs a little bit more time to recover and rest and get their shit together. Myself mostly. But with that said, don't forget to go to vote.org to register, check your registration, and get more information on what's going to be on the ballot this year. See you Friday, guys. Bye.